you know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. I trust that you're doing very well. Well, I am fine too. When you pray, pray for all of us and pray for Ghana particularly. Over the weekend, I had a conversation with a senior friend of mine, and he was so disturbed. The source of his disturbance was the fact that he thought that as a country, we have not been honest with ourselves in terms of managing the companies that we have set for ourselves as a country. And he made reference to the back and forth with Snit, Brian Champon, and they coming out to say that, oh, well, they put out a bid and he was able to buy it, and people are asking questions about conflict of interest. And then the ultimate question that he asked was that, why should it have been a member of the government, a key actor, a cabinet minister for that matter, who thought it's smart to go and bid to buy the property of the state? He asked that question. He said, well, there may not be something wrong with it or anything wrong with it legally, because he is not a lawyer. But he's asking the moral question that if you say you are there to manage what we have, to protect what we have for the benefit of the people and the benefit of the country, why are you the one now putting in a bid to buy those things from the people? If you buy those things from the people, will the people now have the full benefits that you promised that they would get? And he made references to a lot of state-owned enterprises. And then one thing that he said that made me sit down, because I had gotten up, I was ready to go. He made me sit there again. He said, we are trying to mismanage many of our state-owned enterprises so that we can say that they are not making enough profit, they are no longer attractive and viable, so let us sell it off. And I remember that when the NPP was in opposition, they spoke about the Divestiture Implementation Committee. In fact, people were taken to court for diversifying some of the state-owned enterprises and for buying some of them. So he drew my attention to those things, and he says, so let's watch the trend, the way it's going. If you pick our state-owned enterprises, you pick SIGA's own list, check how our state-owned enterprises are lagging behind. They are ailing, they are suffering, they are suffocating. Will they all be put up for sale? Will they all be put up for sale? Is it another form of state capture? It's a very serious matter. And as I said, he said, oh, there's nothing illegal about it. But the morality of same, and the fact that there is no shame, only that it is for fame. Now, there's another letter that I saw, and it is from the presidency. The presidency found it necessary to appoint a parliamentary candidate of the NPP, a former deputy attorney general, my friend, who had been a former member of parliament, my good friend Joseph Kpemka Dindiok. We have 6 months to the election. And a letter comes from the presidency dated the 17th of May, addressed to Mr. Joseph Kpemka Dindiok, addressed also to Honorable Matthew Pugu Prempeh, copied to the Vice President of the Republic, the Chief of Staff, the Board Chairman of BOST, the Managing Director, and then Mr. Joseph Kpemka Dindiok himself, appointing him as Deputy Managing Director of the organization. He's a parliamentary candidate. He is going to contest in the elections. And you know that when the elections kick in, politicians turn their attention from their work into the constituency to go and campaign. We know the issues that BOST has had. And we are hoping that they will come up stronger and stronger. But the presidency on the 17th of May thought it wise that let us pick a parliamentary candidate and make him deputy managing director. And somebody asked me, is it for him to be able to get money to go and campaign? Or what? Now, let's read the letter together. The President of the Republic has nominated Mr. Joseph Dindiok Kpemka for appointment as Deputy Managing Director of Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited, the company. So the presidency wants to tell us that they don't even know that BOST has now become BEST. The presidency. Nanado, Dr. Baumia, Nana Santibedeto, who signed the letter, Madame Fremont Paris, everybody who works at the presidency, they want to tell me that they don't know that BOST is now BEST. They have no idea. So what else does the presidency not know? Because the place they are sending the man to, aside the fact that he is an aspiring member of parliament who is being taken there as deputy managing director, whose attention will obviously be divided when the time comes for him to go and campaign in the constituency in the north. They have also forgotten the nomenclature of where they were taking the man. Is that a clue that we are on autopilot? Because if the presidency doesn't know that BOST is now BEST, bulk energy supply and transportation, if they don't know, then whom am I? Calm down. Attached is his curriculum vitae. Kindly take the necessary steps to regularize the said appointment in accordance with the irrelevant positions of the Companies Act 2019, Act 929. Is it Act 929 or Act 992? The man who signed the letter on behalf of the man who is supposed to have asked him to write the letter are both lawyers. The Companies Act 2019, tell me if I'm wrong. Is it Act 929 or Act 992? So number one, the president is sending a parliamentary candidate to an organization whose name he has forgotten, but they changed the name. Then the president's secretary, on behalf of the president, is writing on an official office of the president letterhead, the famous green letterhead, and is quoting a wrong law. Hey, have we taken the wrong direction? Have we taken the wrong direction? Well, let me leave this one here. Now, take me to Parliament. I want to talk about Pugu, the multi-purpose dam. And you know, this dam has a very important place in the lives of the people of Pugu and surrounding areas in the Upper East region because it will help with irrigation. With irrigation will come a lot more farm produce. With that will come industrialization, manufacturing, and adding value to what we get. And then if you have the dam there, the annual spillage from the Bagri Dam will become a thing of the past. The people's livelihood, which is often destroyed by the spillage of the dam which happens annually, would then now be mitigated or become a thing of the past. We are also told that the Pugu multipurpose dam has some solar component. So the people naturally were happy about it. Mind you, Osajifu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had a tomato factory at Pugu, and a lot of tomato is found at that place. So the processing happens there. The processing, it happens there. Take me to Parliament. Take me to Parliament. Just play the video from Parliament.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Page 23. Page 23. Somewhere you will see final payment for construction of the Pugu irrigation project. Yes. Pugu irrigation project, final payment. 2-3. At the top there, you see the last but one. Final payment for the construction of the Pugu irrigation project. The question is, I thought probably before payments are made, contractors present certificates. Because when you get to Pugu, there's nothing there. There's no even a pole. There's no even a signboard. And if the contractor is taking $11 million, there's nothing. There is no even a what do we call it? Like a container. You can't even see the project site. So what certificate was presented before this money was paid? That's my question. Oh. The sun there was at all. There's not even sun on the site. You can't even identify the site.
Let him answer.
I want to know how that money was paid.
Yes, he will answer.
I think the amount you're referring to was paid in 2021, not 2022. And the auditors would have to tell us because they must have cited their documentations before they wrote this report. The Auditor General, yeah, so maybe they can explain.
Before then, if assuming that it was something like a mobilization, but if you say final, okay.
No.
It's a final payment, okay.
Can we?
This is 3FM.
Auditors, could you help us out over here? It says final payment. Now the honorable member is saying that there's nothing at that site. I'm sure when you did the audit, you saw something.
3FM 92.7.
Honorable Chair,
Lifestyle radio station.
Controller instructed them to pay, and they paid. We are not aware whether the project has been completed or there's nothing ongoing.
Yes, sir.
Chairman, I'm not happy with the response from the auditors.
So, this is a controversial project. The people applauded it. Everybody, so it's going to be one of the key projects. There's another video, Sixtus. There's an Asempa FM, and credit to them, a combination of that. Play that video for me.
Where you come from. And Mono, can you beat your chest and say, yeah, this signature project in the north?
I think here, the most important project here in the north since independence, a Pugu Dam project.
Okay.
Is the biggest investment. Say we're drawing books no more since independence.
Okay, as I watch it.
Government be a say Pugu Dam. But we're here as a signature project, and in Ebeda number one. So there's no doubt about that. Pugu Dam, no, it's.
A few moments later.
I have no doubt in my mind that I was championing the Pugu Dam. We have not yet been able to do it. But by the grace of God, I believe we are going to do the Pugu Dam. It has to be done. It's a major priority because that can bring 20,000 hectares into cultivation.
So has the Pugu multipurpose dam been constructed or not? And I say this, that the vice president's handlers are doing him a lot of evil. A lot of evil. That time I heard Dennis Miracles Abuaji, who was on a one-on-one chat with Bolare, and he says that, oh, the dollar would have been 20 cedis if he had been the NDC in power. He's now doing hypothesis, hypothetical situation. You have power. You came to talk. They have given you the thing. Now you are giving us a hypothetical situation. The people have moved away from those hypothetical situations. Oh. They have moved away from those assumptions. They are looking at the reality in their lives. And I think that Dr. Bawumia owes us an apology, because in 2020, he told us that it had been done. It is a significant project that had been executed. Credibility is at stake. In 2024, it tells us that even though we have not been able to do it, we are determined to do it. Let's go to Palugu. Play the story, News 360 for me. Let's go to Palugu.
$993 million, according to the government, will be the single largest investment ever made in the northern part of the country. But nearly 5 years after a colorful sword-cutting ceremony, no major work has been done, as the contractor has abandoned the project sites at Krugu, Kubeyu, and Sariba. Heavy-duty equipment and other building materials, which were kept at a temporary camp, have all been moved out of the sites. Assemblyman for Palugu, Moses Adongo, and his predecessor, Paul Abba, noted the government's delay in kickstarting the project is impacting negatively on agricultural production in the regions.
Pugu Dam started not today, but during Nkrumah's era. And it was for that reason that the tomato factory was put up at Pugu, so that when the dam is constructed, whatever produce that we get, they can feed the factory. But the failure of the dam to get constructed actually has dampened the spirits of the people.
The name Palugu is only mentioned, but nothing is showing that there's a dam. And I don't know when the dam will be constructed. A lot of people gave out to farm due to the multi-purpose, and they left their farms. And now they are under distress because you have no food. They didn't farm, saying that they were coming to construct a dam.
They requested government to address the difficulties that have held back the project. The Upper East Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, said government has secured funding and the project is expected to start soon.
It's a project that we all know was going to cost us about $1 billion, and we all know the current situation of the country in terms of getting this $1 billion in building this. As I speak with you, funding has been acquired, and we are going to start building the solar part of the dam.
The minister stated that the project was a top priority for the government and everything was being done to ensure its smooth implementation.
I will tell the entire Ghanaians that government has not abandoned the Pugu Dam, because it's very dear to the heart of government. The government is doing everything in its power to make sure that the dream is realized.
When completed, the dam is expected to store excess water for agricultural activities, generation of electricity, and control the perennial flooding in the 5 northern regions caused by heavy rains and the spillage of the Bagre Dam in neighboring Burkina Faso.
If you don't remember the minister who spoke, he's the same minister who said that when a 24-hour economy is implemented, people cannot get the opportunity to sleep with their wives. He said it. He's still at post. He's actually been moved from one region to the other because of Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Alegibam, who's still at post. But in 2021, per the record I showed you from Parliament, we had spent money for a dam that had not been constructed. Pretty much the same way like the $12 million we spent on the Bade Japa deal, pretty much like the $2 million we spent on the SkyTrain that never has been, pretty much the same way we have done in many different ways. So Dr. Bawumia's credibility is at stake, because in 2020 he said the thing had been done. In 2021, money was paid. Fast forward to 2024, before the Public Accounts Committee, we hear that money has been paid. They got authorization to pay, but the people on the ground are telling us that there is no work that has been done. There is no work that has been done. So when you go and play with the emotions of the people, they give you their farmlands, they abandon them. They believe that you're going to bring something that will benefit the totality of their region and the entire population of Ghana, so that we can shamefully stop, importing tomatoes and the rest from Burkina Faso. Many years down the line, you have not been able to do it. I think we deserve an apology. Because this was a big deal. So where is the money? Who has spent the money? And you know, speaking of money, we're busy borrowing 50 million or so. Give me the documents. And we're giving tax holidays, tax waivers to companies. Companies that can pay, we are giving them tax holiday. A young man goes to the bank, goes for 50,000 cedis loan to start something small. Oh, these are the project benefits. Just give me there's a parliamentary document, the order paper. And then look at the list of companies. Grand Chem, YMH, Y-DOS, Ghana Manufacturing Limited. And you see, when you give tax holidays to people, the idea is that they will use the monies that the British State has been giving them so that they can expand their companies and employ some more people. We have been giving huge sums. This one, we're going to give them over $300 million in tax holidays by this government. And they are supposed to use the money to expand so that they can employ a lot more people. Since we started giving these tax holidays, are you able to tell me what expansion has been done and how many jobs have been created and why that is not reducing our unemployment rate? Because our unemployment rate is going through the roof. There's a Nungwa Warehouse Ghana Limited. How is that a factory? You're asking, look, just look at it. And just look at it. We're giving all these, and most of them are foreign owned. Or brony business. We will say they are foreign direct investment. When a young man goes to the bank to go and get a 50,000 Ghana cedis loan to start a business, Dr. Bawumia will say, oh, go and do entrepreneurship. As soon as they get a small space in their father's house, they put up a small signage. GRA is there. Then the local assembly is there. Business operation permit. This one. So by the time they finish, their 50,000 would have been half to 25,000. Those young people do not get the tax holidays that these people get. And they say, oh, then they don't understand the processes of the GRA. They give them. And I don't blame them. You see, I blame our parliaments too. Our parliamentarians, including the NDC and the LBP, they were here telling us that, yeah, the size of government is too huge, it's too big, it's too ballooned. Well, let me give you and shock you. They have approved all the ministers who were designated, who were hanging, that they said they won't approve. Oh, yes, they have approved them, everybody. So they will start acting from today. What kind of a country are we running? There's no honesty. That the whole vice president comes to tell us that this is the star project we have been able to do. And then when you check the records, there is nothing to show that we have done. So there's deception and dishonesty in the system, and we are adding money to the deception and the dishonesty. What kind of a country are we raising? Please call me 055-924-2717. And 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, sir.